And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking Max Verstappen, pretty much saying he's quite happy to cross the line to win a world championship. Who does that sound like? So this is the article on motorsport.com. Max Verstappen is aware his elbows out driving style has been criticised by the F1 paddock. He said yes, but they don't have the world championship mentality. Read more, and yeah, most certainly we will, because that's the next page along is Verstappen. People who criticise my driving don't have a champion's mentality. Damon Hill won it like that, yes, okay. Damon Hill, maybe not in the same league as Max Verstappen. Jenson Button, maybe not in the same league as Max Verstappen. Jim Clark was quite the gentleman, non-aggressive. Yes, we are talking a long time ago, but he didn't rise to. He was definitely a champion, arguably one of the best. He didn't, but let's get into it. So Verstappen reflects on the criticism he received for the way he raced Lando Norris in F1 2020 in F1 2024, which, let's be fair, we have done many a video on this suggesting that he was not very good, is it? I've even gone as far as saying Max Verstappen, when it comes down to it, cannot race. If you remember what George Russell said about Max Verstappen, maybe he does have a point, but here we go. Max Verstappen has insisted he will keep crossing the line racing in Formula 1 if he has to, and suggested those who do not understand do not have the world champion mentality, which is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. But after what was a dominant start, Red Bull came under pressure, as we know, from McLaren in 2024. And that translated into, very similar to 2021, on-track skirmishes. It was great for Formula 1. It got people talking. It got headlines. And Verstappen in Mexico City, for example, was handed 2 10-second penalties for pretty much shoving Norris off the track. Now, while fueling further discussions over the F1 rules, Verstappen received a barrage of criticism from McLaren fans and media, as I think was right. He was dangerous, hence the 20 seconds. But then he reflecting on his 2024 campaign, Verstappen says he's got no regrets because he feels it's necessary in F1 to cross the line at times. In an end-of-season interview with Dutch F1 broadcaster Viaplay, Verstappen was reminded of what McLaren CEO Zak Brown's comments. He said, Max is such an awesome racing driver, I just think you don't need to drive like that. And I think that was a sentiment for pretty much everyone but a Max Verstappen fan, because this guy is such a fantastic driver. He is such a generational talent. And come the end of his career, we could be saying he's one of the greatest of all time in terms of talent. Potentially, people could be saying that. But when he drives like he did in Mexico, drives like he did in Austria, drives like he did when he lost his head in Hungary this year, you have to start thinking there's doubts about this talent. It's kind of like he's so talented, but this is this one big thing, and it's almost this one elephant in the room which he almost refuses to acknowledge. Because yes, be aggressive, absolutely, send it into a gap. You're going to make some mistakes, but he doesn't make some. He's made lots since he's come to Formula 1. So responding to Brown's comments and the general backlash, he said yes, but they don't have the world champion mentality. I will always go to the limit, yes, to get most out of every race, and if I have to force it, then that's just how it goes. Sometimes you have to cross a line. Well, I do. Yeah, so, cross a line. I mean, asked whether he has any regrets how he edged Norris towards the wall of Mexico. No, not at all in that race. I think I won points there. I mean, now, bearing in mind, this is being translated from Dutch to, obviously, English. But he said, so like I said, I will always do everything to get the maximum result for the championship. And of course, sometimes you have to go to the limit, or over the limit, and not everyone understands that. Not everyone has that mentality. Okay, so you have to go to the limit or over the limit. Let's have a look at what going over the limit does. So Max Verstappen, you have to go to the limit. Yeah, you can see what's coming now. Max Verstappen, you've got to go to the limit or go over the limit, says Max Verstappen. This is Michael Schumacher going over the limit at Jerez. Is that the limit that you're going to go to, Max? Well, let's have a look at this then, shall we? As this loads, this is the Italian Grand Prix where Max potentially goes over the limit. We've got Lewis Hamilton coming out the pits. This is 2021. Max Verstappen realises, Hamilton's ahead of me. And then there we go. He just absolutely crashes upon him. And there we go. The beautiful slammer there. The issue is with that is Max Verstappen came on the radio and said that's what you get when you don't leave a space, meaning he was quite happy to have a crash. So assuming that is the limit, it's blatant bumper cars destruction derby then. And that is what I'm very uncomfortable with. And I don't understand why more people are talking about this. He's happy to go, you have to go to the limit or over the limit. No, you don't. That's cheating, Max. That's called cheating. I just don't understand the mentality of this guy. I mean, it's so disappointing because he's such a good talent. He's such likable in terms of people are, people love him. They love that attitude. They love the, I can do up the establishment attitude that he has, which is great. When his comments about Las Vegas I thought were really interesting last year. When he said this is not really F1, this is just a show. He's not a fan of sprint races. I love the fact that he says what he thinks. But then this is the negative part of saying what he thinks. And if indeed that is directly translated, I think that's really, really silly and very short-sighted of Max Verstappen. Pretty much admitting over the limit, I'm happy to cheat as far as I'm concerned. And so that once again, when you go back to Mexico, he's happy to have a crash simply because he crashes into Lando. Lando doesn't beat him in the points. They stay as they are. So I guess in this one, sorry, Max, no, I vehemently disagree. He's also come out and Verstappen says he would have won the title in a Ferrari. Is he right? As we see, interesting efforts down there. So it was a much closer contest last season. Verstappen claimed the 2023 title by winning 19 of the Grand Prix. Red Bull were only beaten once that season. It was clear that anyone not in the RB19 was never going to win that title that year. But Verstappen faced a tougher fight this year. Nonetheless, by the Las Vegas Grand Prix, as we know, Verstappen became a wonderful world champion. And afterwards, Verstappen claimed that not only he could have won in Norris's McLaren, which went on to win the Constructors, but Ferrari as well. And both teams obviously finished ahead of Red Bull because of Checo. Because of Checo, let's be honest. Because of Checo. So, could Max Verstappen have won in a Ferrari? No. Because the Ferrari at the beginning of the... I mean, this is the big issue I've got when he says this. At the beginning of the year, Max easily had the best car. For the first third to quarter of the year. Even after Miami, he had a car that could, win. Lando Norris had only won one race at that point. And what you have to remember, Max had no competition. No competition from his teammate throughout the whole year. No competition from Lando initially for those few victories. And when he did have competition, there was a mixture of McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, all taking points off each other, as well as Red Bull. And ergo to that, Max Verstappen would have had to fend off either Charles Leclerc or Carlos Sainz. Now, there are rumours suggesting, I don't think they're true, but they're definitely rumours that Carlos Sainz didn't go to Red Bull because Max Verstappen didn't want him there. I don't think they're true. I think Max is confident enough in his ability to think I could beat him. But if that's true, that's really sad, but I don't think they are. I think he would beat Carlos Sainz, but it would be a lot closer than him and Perez. I don't know if he would beat Leclerc over a season, certainly not in qualifying. I think Leclerc has, when he's on it, he has the edge, but Leclerc makes more mistakes. Let's go to McLaren. I don't think he'd have it all his way against Lando Norris. He didn't, or Oscar Piastri. Yes, he'd probably be favourite in those two, but they would be, unlike Perez, taking points off him, which is why I don't think Max Verstappen would win the title in either of those cars. But I do feel that there is a chance he would have got closer to winning the title. I still don't think he would have done, though. I guess it depends who'd be in the Red Bull. But there you go. Anyway, this was at the Hot Lap. What do you think about Max Verstappen? Is he a dirty driver? Yes or no? Comment below. Let us know. Subscribe if you want. Hit that notification button so you do not miss a video, and we will speak to you soon. We'll be with you over the Christmas period. We're still doing videos, so don't worry about that. Yes, in the off season, but we're not slowing down. Thank you very much. Stay safe. If you made it to the end, you are an F1 World Champion. If you make it to the end and give us a like or comment, you're a double World Champion at least. Thank you. See you soon.